To take the measurements of the bite with the George gauge, we are going to register the bite in its maximum advancement position, i.e. the maximum voluntary protrusion of the mandible. I choose the small 2mm fork, and in practice it's the one I choose in 99% of cases. Indeed, when one deals with a very pronounced curve of SPI, there might be interferences if one chooses too long a fork. But with the small fork, there never or rarely are interferences in the mouth when taking measurements. Here is the support in which I will insert this small gauge. I place these parts from end to end. I make sure that the lower part is large enough so that the lower teeth fit inside this space without putting pressure on the little blue triangular part, because it might become more fragile or break if it is too tight. So I insert the fork to the patient. You're going to rest. I place the fork on the lower teeth. To the patient, open slightly, please. I ask the person to close her mouth end to end. To the patient, please don't turn your head, stay like this. I ask the patient to keep the end-to-end position and make motions of maximum protrusion. To the patient, you're going to move your jaw forward as much as possible. Move it backwards, move it forward, move it backwards slightly, move it forward one last time and stop moving. Now I am sure that the position is to its maximum without requiring efforts from the patient. I validate that the fork does not interfere with the upper or lower teeth, and I make sure it is free in the oral cavity. To the patient, you can open your mouth now. We are now going to put a vinyl polysiloxane material on each side and take the dental impression in a maximum advancement position. We take the base paste and the catalyst. We take a little bit of each, and we mix the materials in a homogeneous way. We are going to take two pieces. We place one piece on the left side and one piece on the right side. Now back to the mouth. Once in the mouth, we insert the lower part by pressing on the teeth, like this, and we ask the person to maintain the advanced position while we carefully press on the paste to impress the teeth appropriately. For this vinyl polysiloxane impression material, this position must be kept for 45 seconds. Once the 45 seconds are over, we make sure that the paste is hardened. To the patient, you can open your mouth. We remove the gauge, and we will be able to validate using the models that the upper and lower teeth match the mandibular advancement registered with the patient. We remove the fork from the support. Here are the patient's models, the upper model and the lower model. We put them together with the George gauge bite fork. We can see there is excess material here. You may leave it there. At the laboratory, they will cut off the exceeding parts. If the models do not fit with the George gauge, we can take off the excess material while keeping the part with the dental impression on it. like this for the posterior teeth. This way, the model component is well articulated. And we see clearly the advancement and the midline position, which is aligned with the midline of the upper teeth. We are ready to pack the models and send them to the laboratory to make the device.
Pour faire fabriquer l'appareil.